Hello everyone, you're watching PokerNews.com and welcome back to our coverage of the EPT Season 13 stop in Barcelona. I am with William Kassouf, who you may recognize from the EPT live coverage here from last year, and also soon to be for those of you at home who have yet to see the WSOP coverage from the main event. You will definitely be knowing this guy. Now, first off, for those who missed it or who haven't seen it yet, tell us a little bit about your WSOP main event experience.
It was pretty good, or awesome, as the Americans would say. Really enjoyed it. Obviously, biggest tournament in the world. Just played my A game, gave them hell as much as I could. Played within the rules. Do a lot of talking at the table. Speech plays a big part of my game. Get a lot of information from my opponents by physically speaking to them at the tables rather than just scratching my head and putting chips in their pot. Some players let it get under their skin. They go on super donkey tilt and end up donking off their chips to me and calling the floor, etc. But I did nothing wrong. I think Jack Effel even admitted that I was doing nothing wrong, wasn't breaking any rules. I think a lot of people were complaining about it. They're not used to it in America. They're not used to the banter, the speech play, even talking heads up. It was frowned upon, and a lot of controversy, basically. But I made it through, cut a long story short, made it through to day 7, which is a massive achievement for me. Last Brit standing as well, so I've got to be proud of that. Had loads of people up and down the country rooting for me. Got it not to make November 9, having grinded well and played well for like 7 days. Had 2 brutal hands back to back, like pretty much in the same orbit, and busted in 17th. But still, it was a great run. Really enjoyed it. Just want to encourage people to play it. Just to give it an example very quickly. On the start day, I ran really bad, days 1, 2, and 3. On day 3, 60 places off the money, I had under starting stack. I had 45k with a starting stack of 50k. I had 9 big blinds when the blinds were 2.5k, 5k. Managed to get in the money, get all the way through to days 4, 5, 6, 7, and make it to 17th. So it goes to show, you know, what a great structured tournament it is and how important it is to be disciplined and focused, and what a great structure it is not to panic and you know, to be determined and go all the way, basically.
To be able to keep that positive attitude when you get down like that, especially when you've been up really high, I think getting back down, it's definitely a struggle. And it's interesting because I, both on this TV show that I was on and on the podcast, we've been talking a lot about the lack of characters and the lack of people who are chatting and enjoying. I just did a Q&A with Daniel Negreanu, who was saying, yes, it's part of my personality anyways to be chatty, but of course it's also a part of my game and getting information. So for me, it was good to see a player out there who's not afraid to just be interesting, be fun, be enjoyable, enjoy the game.
That's it.
So you guys will definitely be loving it on ESPN. But for those also who, you're not just a poker player. For those who don't know yet, you're also, I think, an attorney. So talk to us a little bit about what role poker plays in your life, and a 17th cash is pretty solid. That could be that's a life changer for a lot of people at the WSOP main event.
It is, for sure, yeah, $338,000. I've got to thank the Brexiters in the UK for that, because the pound dollar rate was like awful coming here, so going to Vegas. So it cost me the best part of £1,000 extra to play the same event this year compared to last year. But I came with a positive attitude, determined to do well, and I thought if I did succeed and do well, my dollars will be worth a lot more in pounds when I go back to the UK. So that's exactly what I did. So it worked out to plan. It was a risk, but no risk, no reward. Speculate to accumulate, etc. So yeah, did well. Played well. Just happy to play my game, and did a solid performance to go all the way. But in terms of my legal background, yeah, I'm a solicitor by profession. And they say solicitor in the UK. I've got to be careful. In America, solicitor means something else. If you're soliciting, I'd say lawyer as an umbrella term to say lawyer or attorney. Yeah, so I think my legal background helps in terms of my analytical skills that I had at university and law school, and working in a law firm. You're analysing information all the time. When you've got a case that you're dealing with in a law firm, you're analysing information, everything that's on the table, from players to chips, from body language, from reads, from what's said and what's done on the poker table. You're analysing, taking in all this information to get the desired result effectively, either to bluff them off a hand or to get them to call when you've got the best hand. So that's the whole idea of the speech play. So I think my legal background helped in that regard. You're sucking out your opponents. If I'm going to do an analogy, similar to being in a courtroom, you have to outwit your opponent to convince the judge that your client's not guilty. So on the poker table, you're using those kind of skills to convince your opponent that you've got the best hand when you don't, and vice versa. So that's what I enjoy about the game. I don't like the gamble so much, all in the calls. I know it's a part of the game, but to win coin flips, that's just the luck part. I like the skill part into the psychological aspect, getting to my opponent's mind, thinking what they're thinking, I'm thinking they've got, etc. And loving the mind games and the strategic aspect of the game, and really that's where the skill comes in. So it's a shame really that for the WSOP to almost stifle it rather than encourage speech play, especially heads-up pots. I mean, there's live poker in the day. We're 2016. We're not back in the 60s and 70s now. And yeah, it should 100% be brought back. I think a lot of people were encouraging it. It's a big talking point at WSOP this year. They're thinking they should 100% bring it back, especially when you're heads up in a pot. Why shouldn't you be allowed to say what you want? I mean, I understand multi-way. You can't talk because you're influencing action. But when you're heads up, surely you could say, oh, I've got you beat, I want you to call. But you can't discuss anything about contents of your hand, your opponent's hand, or say anything whatsoever that will influence any action. So I said to a lady in one part, oh, if you got aces, I've got you beat. Oh, you can't say that. Okay, whatever you got, I got you beat, I want you to call. No, you cannot say that. Why not? Oh, because you're influencing action. I said, how is that influencing action? I'm all in. She's either calling or folding. You're telling her you got her beat, you're influencing action. I said, that's ridiculous.
That's what I'm telling her.
This is ridiculous. Oh, because you're telling her you got her beat, so you're influencing her action. Right. It's absolute joke. So I got pulled up on it, and unbelievable. Yeah, I got 1 orbit penalty on day 5 of WSOP main event. That's going to be a big highlight of the World Series main event. 1 orbit penalty for effectively taunting a player. Heads up speech play, a heads up pop. And when I bluffed her I put her all in on the river. There's no more action. All the cards are out. Decisions on her. And she even had the audacity to try and get my hand killed because they said, oh, he's been warned already. How's his hand still alive? How's his hand still alive? She tried to get my hand killed. That's how bad it was and how low it got. Obviously, my hand wasn't dead. It was still alive. The action was still on her. Obviously, she showed open folded pocket queens, the best hand on 10 high board. And I turned and showed the pot. You want to see it? She goes, yeah, go 9 high. There you go, like a boss, big heart of a lion. I got told.
Speaking of like a boss, I heard a rumor that you know how to say like a boss in 9 languages.
In line, yeah, pretty much. I've learned them. I thought I have to, you come to the EPT, lots of Europeans here. You got to be able to speak their lingo. Some people don't understand. Oh, my English not good. I don't speak English. Yeah? So I do.
Don't worry, I got you.
I do the Spanish, I do the Italian, I do the French, I do the German, the Greek. Pretty much what you learn. Arabic as well. So yeah, and a few languages. Hungarian I've learnt today as well.
Well, and you're talking not just to taunt people. You're also, I remember last year, you were calling, for your cards when you were all in for your tournament live too. Like, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It seems, if it's not just aimed at one person, if it's just part of your personality, it seems a little crazy. Now, for you then, I'm sure that watching the WSOP back is going to be crazy. Are you going to have host a party, invite everyone over in September?
I'm not fussed about it. I'll just watch it with friends. It is what it is. I'm told I have to be prepared to be portrayed as the supervillain from Great Britain because it's on US TV. So it is what it is. I think I did nothing wrong, played within the rules. If the Americans don't like it, it's tough. That's just how I play. It's my game. There's no malice in what I say or what I do. I don't threaten anyone at the table. I don't berate anyone on the table. That's not my style. Some people liken me because I talk a lot like Tony G. I'm nothing like Tony G. I think, if anything, some people are saying who know me and seen my plays are liking me for more like the British version of Daniel Negreanu in terms of the table banter, the chatty, the good personality, because at the end of the day, they say how you play poker depends on your personality. So I'm like a social, active, outgoing kind of guy, friendly at the table, always having conversation, having a laugh and a joke. You're sitting there for the best part 12, 13 hours a day in the World Series main event, especially for 7 days straight. I'm not going to be sitting there with my headphones on and saying nothing for 12 hours. I'm going to be engaging in conversation, enjoying myself and enjoying the occasion for what it is. I know it's the biggest tournament in the world. Some people really put the pressure on and really take it seriously. I'm not to say I don't take it seriously because it doesn't show in my attitude because I'm always like blasé and having a laugh and a joke like it's a $100 comp. I do take it seriously, but at the same time, I'm still going to enjoy myself. I'm not going to get uptight or play differently or play cagey and let my emotions get the better of me because of the magnitude of the occasion. So I'm just going to enjoy myself, and that reflects on the poker table. I mean, some people take it to heart and they go on super donkey tilt. They can't understand it. Why is he talking so much? He's putting me on tilt. But I'm saying nothing to them, nothing wrong, not berating or insulting them. But they take it the wrong way, and yeah.
And you're like, if I'm putting you on tilt, I'm doing my job. But yeah. Also, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how it turns out because from being in the poker media, I actually didn't get the sense at all that people were feeling that you were a villain, or actually that a lot of people were talking about how exciting and great it was to have someone who was interesting, someone who was doing something fun and interesting. Yeah. It was very quiet. It was a very sort of, subdued environment, even with how exciting the energy is. And so, I think at least from the poker media standpoint and as a poker fangirl, I love to see people talking. I love to see people having fun. Well, to wrap it out, of course, I want to give you a little time on your break. We're at the 10K high roller, so you get yourself together. But William Kassouf, give us one like a boss in any language of your choosing outside of English.
Outside of English, wie ein Chef in German. I'll say san archigos in Greek, mint afönok in Hungarian, kak boss in Russian.
It's amazing. It's like
patron. Como un jefe, como un capo I love the Italian capo.
He even has it here. All
Bello,
right.
grazie, bellissimo, fantastico, meraviglioso.
Thank you
There you
guys
go.
so much, and definitely tune into the coverage. You will not want to miss. William Kassouf, I'm Sarah Herring. You're on PokerNews.com.
Marvelous.